Instructional video for beginners on the practice chanter of the Christmas carol, Jolly Old Saint Nicholas. In an earlier video, I reviewed bars 1 and 2. This is for bars 3 and 4 of the tune. The tune with bar 2, the previous bar, ends on an F. So you want to start in the F position. And the very first note you want to play is a G grace note and then go down to B. So when you do that, mechanically, you're on F. You lift that G grace note finger off, get your fingers in the B position, and drop the top hand back into place, playing a B. In slow motion, it sounds like this. Again. One more time. But we don't want to play that G grace note very long. It's a grace note, so we need to play it a little quicker. Here's how it'll sound quicker. If you need to work on that transition from the end of bar 2, the F, to the G grace note on B, which is the beginning of bar 3, take some time to review the video and do that, either on your own or along with it. Once you've gotten the transition from the F to the B, the first B, in bar 3, you're ready to do a B strike. A B strike involves bringing the 2 bottom hand fingers down, covering those holes, and bringing it back up, then back up. When you bring those 2 fingers down, you play a short, low G on the practice chanter. It's temporary, very short. It's a grace note, so it's not intended to be long. But here's how that sounds when you're on B, you cover the low G, and bring the fingers back up in slow motion. Okay, this is again intended to be relatively quick, but first practice it slowly. 1, 2. You might want to pause the video and try that on your own, because what we're going to do next is the first 2 notes of bar 3, coming from the F. It sounds like this. Again. If you're lost, what we're doing is we're starting on F, G grace note, down to B, strike on B. Again. Okay, the next 2 notes of the bar are exactly the same thing. G grace note on B, strike. So you're already on the B from the previous strike, and you're just going to go again. So the first 4 notes of bar 3, coming from the F on the bar before it, sound like this. Let's try that again. From F. What you want to listen for when you're playing this by yourself is the G grace note being quick, right? We don't want it to hang out up in the air very long. Let's try the first 4 notes of bar 3 again, from the F of the bar before it. Okay, that gets you the first 4 notes of the bar. The next 2 notes are a G grace note down to low A, a low G grace note on low A, and then a G grace note up to D. Okay, so we're on the B from the last B strike that we just did, and we're going to do a G grace note down to low A. That looks like this. In slow motion, you're playing the B, you lift up the G grace note finger up here, and bring these 2 fingers down to the low A position. In slow motion, it would be like this. From B, it would look like this. Slow motion again from the B. One more time. The key here is to land the 2 notes at the same time, the 2 fingers at the same time. Let's try the transition from B to low A at a faster speed. you might want to pause the video and practice that transition from B with a G grace note down to low A. Once you've gotten that taken care of, you're going to do a low G strike on low A. It's just like this. You're on low A, you bring the pinky finger down to play a very short low G, and then lift it right back up to play another low A again. If you put all that together from the B after the 2 strikes in bar 3 to the low A, let's do that little phrase, the next 2 notes, the 2 low A's after the B. Once you've gotten that down, you want to go and do the last note of bar 3, which is a G grace note up to D. You're on the low A that we just finished on. You lift up the G finger and you lift up the fingers down here to get into the D position and drop the G grace note finger. In slow motion, it looks like this. Side view. But we don't want it to be that slow. It's a grace note, so we want to speed it up a little bit. If that transition is challenging, you want to pause the video here and try it on your own, and then try it again with the video. So what this gets us to is the end of bar 3. I'm going to play all of bar 3 now, starting from the F at the end of the preceding bar, which is the end of bar 2. So you're on F, and the first thing we're going to do is a G grace note down to B, strike, G grace note, strike, G grace note to low A, strike, and then a G grace note up to D. Nice and slow, from F. We'll do it on 3. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. One more time. 1, 2. That gets us to the end of bar 3. Bar 4 only has 5 notes, and we're starting from the D that we just left off on here at the end of bar 3. So we're on D, and the very first note of bar 4 is a G grace note up to E. When we do G grace notes up to E, we have to move a bunch of fingers. We have the D position. We have to lift both of these fingers on the top hand. Middle finger stays put. These 2, we're going to drop the G finger down and these D fingers down to play an E. All of you have done this, the students. We're going to do it here slowly. We want no crossing sounds in there. I want you to listen to yourself, play it back, or play and listen to your playing on your own without this recording, and make sure there are no crossing sounds in there. Clean transition. Once you've made a clean transition from the D, which is the last note of bar 3, to the first note of bar 4, right? You're on E, and you just go down to D after that. So it's from the D at the end of bar 3, it's E, it's D, E, D is the series of notes, but grace notes in there too. Again. That's not particularly hard once you're on E going down to D. Make sure there are no crossing sounds there. Again, that transition from the end of bar 3 to the beginning of bar 4 sounds like this. All right, now you're on D. The next transition is a G grace note back up to E, which we just did, right? Again, it's the same transition we just did. And the next note is F. Just goes up from E to F. So we're going to play the first 4 notes of bar 4, starting on the D from the bar before it. Ready? 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right. Once you're on that F, you only have one more note to go to finish the line. It's a G grace note down to E. That sounds like this in slow motion, or a little slower, like that. Okay, we're going to practice the transition from F to E with a G grace note several times in a row, starting on F. Ready? 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, all of bar 4. We're going to do that next, starting from the D at the end of bar 3. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. And 1, 2. That ends line 1. What we're going to do now is play the last 2 bars of line 1, starting from the F at the end of bar 2. Play bars 3 and 4, basically. Here we go. Starting from F. 1, 2. Again. 1,